Hey guys, Luke here, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 14 on my Rugby League Live 3 West Tigers career mode. Now in this episode, obviously you can see on the screen Alex Glenn nearly back from injury, and everybody else apart from Sam Thaiday is back from suspension as well. So nearly back to a full strength team as opposed to the team that's been going out for the last few weeks, including people like Mitchell Moses and Kitty Galaman and people like that. But you can see there the crowd very much like a Roosters game. You can tell it is a home game for the Roosters, but in terms of our lineup, we still have, well, it actually looks like Kitty Glyman's still on the side for some reason. Maybe I left out a player just for this game, but yeah, I wasn't too worried with the Roosters. I think they're a top 8 side from memory, but I don't really see them as anything too spectacular on this game. Although I do think they touched us up last year, I think towards back end of the season as well. So we do have to worry about them. I think Stapleton destroyed us last game, I think is who it was. But we have started off quite strong. You can see this was a nice little bit of play there. Griezmann goes to the line and he is tackled just short of the line. Probably could have reached out if that was real life. Could have just did the big reach out. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and we ended up having a turnover. 5th tackle, just took the tackle, which was a little bit annoying. Well, we didn't just take the tackle, but we ended up with the ball and got tackled. Now, right here, you can see that's already the second penalty for holding down. There is a sin bin warning, so that is danger signs there for the Roosters. Should they go down to 12 men on the field, I think we'll take advantage of that very, very easily. And right here, oh my God, this try. This was orgasmic, this try. It was straight up one of the best tries I've ever scored. See that perfect little inside ball. It was so quick too. So quick. Tedesco, probably the one who should have been on the end of it, but he wasn't. And Griezmann was the one who ended up on the end of it. And what a try that was. I'm nearly lost for words in terms of how good that one was. And it was so good, I had to go and take a look at the replays. Now, few tries do I have a look at the replays, but this is one of them. Now you can see there the kick return, the first one, it was actually pretty good, but right here is the main problem, and they go and score. It is Ben Cockayne, it is Cockayne. I say this every time we see it, but I remember in Rugby League Live 2, did the South for career mode in the Super League, and when we used to come up against him, I thought they were saying cocaine, like as in the drug cocaine, but yeah, obviously Cockayne is the player who scored. So 6-all. It actually is a pretty even game so far, which is a little bit surprising. But you said we're going to end up scoring a try here. Kitty Glyman, man who I thought who wasn't playing this game, but obviously is. We found that out pretty early on. But he ends up scoring just next to the ball. He was under the post, but just next to the black dot. Curtis Sirenan kicks the goal. So he's back to the goal kicking duties. He's come straight back into the side and he's taken over from Mitchell Moses. Unfortunately, though, right before half time, which is a little bit frustrating, Jake Friend ends up scoring a try. So it wasn't something that I expected to happen, just due to the fact that usually I'm pretty strong just before half time, pretty rock solid in terms of being able to hold out when needed. But unfortunately, that didn't work out too well. But right here, this is a great way to start the second half. Now it's 13 minutes in to the second half, but Curtis Sirenan takes it straight around the fullback and pretty much just went through a gap there. That was absolutely perfect there from young Curtis, and he's going to kick the goal from his own try, extending the lead. Well, we regained the lead, I should say, and it is a 6-point lead at the moment. So a great way to start the half. You can see right here, Granville comes up with a tackle, and is going to be followed up by another run from the Roosters. Now they're throwing it around a fair bit, and they get it out to the centres, but they cut back inside, which is something that I do struggle with a little bit. And I believe that is Jake Friend who palms off another player right there, but it is David Nofaluma, a Dally M winner from previous years, comes up with a huge tackle, and that's why he's one of our best players. Now, Roosters going very, very close there, and James Tedesco, who also is a Dally M winner in the past, he ends up coming up with another tackle, and Chris Lawrence this time. Chris Lawrence comes up with a try saver. He drags him back out in the field of play. Maybe it would have been better if we held him up, as Tuivasa-Sheck is going to score right here, and I'm not sure who it was who got palmed off. Maybe it was Luke Brooks or someone, but I can't blame him. He was already over the line. Yeah, maybe we could have asked for a Chris Lawrence sort of tackle. That just happened before, but I mean that was superhuman, that sort of tackle. That's not going to happen too many times after that one. But yeah, Roosters looking to keep the momentum going, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You can see another break there. Chris Lawrence came up with a big tackle before, but he's not going to be able to catch Cockayne, as Cockayne ends up scoring his second try of the game. And they're wearing their members jersey by the looks of things, and they're representing their members really, really well this game. Roosters are really aiming up high against us, and that's what happens when you're on a win streak, like a 15-game win streak or whatever. Well, I suppose that doesn't even take into account the preseason games, but just in the NRL, 15-game win streak, teams are going to aim up against you, and they're going to bring their A game. It's like when teams win the comp the next year, they've got a target on their backs. And, we got the minor premiership last year, and, we got beaten in the grand final. Very, very unlucky. Golden point. So, teams definitely looking to... we're not the underdogs anymore. We're not the side that people aren't aware of, is what I'm trying to say. And Roosters playing very, very well. I mean, we're not playing bad either. You can see 24 all. That tells us that we are attacking pretty well. It's just the defence we need to get in order. But we haven't got much left in the game. You see Curtis Sirenin taking a shot. And is it going to make it? It actually hits the crossbar. And we're so unlucky. But we actually do benefit from that. We get the ball back. Another set of 6. And you'd be thinking, take a shot at field goal. We had it set up. But unfortunately, Curtis Sirenin just got in the way a little bit. We had Sirenin and Brooks there. But we just throw the pass to Tedesco. And Tedesco does it from there. Cut back inside, palms off one and scores. And pretty much wins us the game with that play. That was a great play from Tedesco. And I'm not sure that I sort of gave it justice, that play. But, that was a really, really beautiful play there. And this is the final play of the game. Curtis Sirenin just kicking it out on the full. We don't want to stuff around with it too much. And we end up winning that game. We got away with it, really. We're finally getting those competitive games that we've been wanting for a while. And it all started pretty much with that Raiders game, whatever. That's when I started acknowledging it anyways. I think the Roosters actually had a man of the match performance again. So that's a few games in a row of the other team getting the man of the match, which is a little bit strange, but I can handle it. It doesn't really matter to me who gets the man of the match. I know who played well and who didn't, and obviously we won the game. That's what matters. So was very happy to get the win and get another 2 points. Moving on to this next game, which is against the Broncos. It is a home game for us, so I was expecting a pretty comfortable win, to be honest with you. They haven't got Dan Insane or anything in this side, so they haven't really got anybody to pull them out of trouble when they need it. Looking at their side, it is a decent side, I suppose. But they got people like Corey Oates in the centres, who I'm not really sure if the centres is his best position, but they got him playing there. We're looking to expose it, to be honest with you. Just, like I said, trying to expose it. Josh Jackson on the bench, in the second row is a good signing for them. I think he's been there for the last few years, and I got to say that signing, I get very confused between this one and the James Hartbeat Pro in terms of signings, and Josh Jackson's one of those ones who I get confused. But you can see here, it is sped up right now, but we keep the Broncos in their own 10 metres, like pretty much their own 5 metres, like in their own 5 metres from their own in goal. That's where we kept them in a whole set, which is absolutely incredible. All started with Curtis Sirenin absolutely belting the shit out of Derek Spoiler, whoever it was. And then Curtis Sirenin, off the back of all that field position that we had, he ends up scoring a try. So he has been in phenomenal form, Curtis Sirenin, since coming back into the side. Now, I know it was only last game that he came back into the side, but he's done a fine job since coming back in. And goal kicking is on song at the moment as well. He's in form. He's kicking those goals, scoring tries, doing everything. And Kevin Aguama moving back out to the wing as Tim Simona is back in the side there. And he ends up getting the try awarded to him. Also, I think from memory, Alex Glenn might have been back this game, except we started him on the bench, possibly leaving Griezmann in the starting side. So don't quote me on that one, but I think that might have been what happened in this game. But there's a nice little offload there. I think it was Sam Thaiday initially up against his old side, and there's a few players up against the old side, Alex Glenn being one of them that we just mentioned. There was a nice little bit of play there, and fortunately for us, we ended up winning a penalty as well. It was the last tackle, was coming up to the last tackle, so it was a perfect time to win a penalty. And you see here, I'm not sure if we got the numbers exactly, but Aaron Woods palms off one. Just put the ball down, Aaron Woods. Come on, man, just put it down. Unfortunately, he didn't put it down, and he went over the dead ball line, or over the sideline. That was a bit annoying, but it was super funny as well. When it happened, I just did a little bit of a chuckle to myself, and we moved on very, very quickly as Kevin Aguama ended up scoring, extending the lead to 16-0 as Curtis Sirenin kicked the goal. So 16-0 is what the scoreline is currently, and that's what it is going to be at halftime. As you can see, the players walking off the field, and looking at the match stats, Aguama's got 2, Curtis Sirenin's got 1, and he's kicked 2 goals. So not a bad performance so far. Actually, a very, very good performance so far. Not really one of those close games compared to some of the other games recently, but Chris Griezmann, you can see he's still wearing the number 12, so he is starting, and James Tedesco ends up scoring a try right under the post there. So good stuff there from James Tedesco. That was sort of similar to the try he scored in the first game to win us the game, but basically the resemblance was that he palmed off a play and scored under the post. It wasn't too much else, but you can see the change of direction works really well, the inside pass, and we just attacked the opposite side of the field there. All we had to do was get it to Chris Lawrence, who shouldn't have overrun the play, but he did. We end up throwing it to Nofaluma, gets thrown over the sideline, and I can't blame Nofaluma on that one. That was all Chris Lawrence. He screwed that one, and we are made to pay big time as the Broncos are going to race away, and they're going to score a try. It is Jonathan Wright. Now, that's downright insulting that he scored. I was absolutely appalled with the defence for letting him score, but at the same time, he's a great player, Jonathan Wright. He's played in grand finals. He's played in some really phenomenal sides like that 2009 Eel side, the Bulldog 2012. So he was an integral part in those sides, and there's a reason teams keep picking him. And he's just, like I said, he's a phenomenal player. Maybe we'll go down as one of the greats. So I suppose there's no shame, I suppose, in him scoring, but it just would have been nice to keep them to nil. But not Faluma. He got thrown over the sideline before, but this time he steps back inside, steps around a few plays, and he ends up scoring a try. And I don't think he scored for a little while. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. He probably scores all the time, but he ends up scoring a try, and that's really nice. It was the first try of the game for him anyways, and it was the last try of the game as well, which I should mention. And James Tedesco picks up man of the match. I think that was well deserved. He did score a try, and I think he just played well in general. Now, what was really pleasing in that game, you can see the time of possession, but 17 from 20 completions. That's what we like to see, keeping the errors to a minimum. Now, there's all the other results for round 20. You can see we have a 12-point lead on the Dragons, which is really, really nice. We had an 8-point lead, I think, possibly last episode, but yeah, 12-point lead is phenomenal. You can see the Dragons, Storm, and the Rabbitohs rounding out the top 4, and that is where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Not too many rounds left in this season 3, but yeah, it should be 3 more episodes, and then we've got the finals. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at MrLukeMyT, Facebook page and description below, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye guys.